Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be going over the Afterlives Revendreth video trailer. So this one was a little bit different than the other three in that it didn't really develop a story. It was more of a monologue from Sire Denathrius, and I enjoyed it. Some people didn't enjoy it because of the lack of story telling, I guess you'd say. And most of the story is learned through the campaign that he talks about. However, I really enjoyed this video, so it's going to be a little bit different than the other three Afterlives videos I broke down in that there's not much individual stuff to break down, so it'll also be a little bit shorter, which could be good. So this video starts with an orc's torturous scream. A bit eerie feeling at first. You're like in a castle environment. Eventually, we see the orc chained up, and it is none other than Garrosh. So this is a big character, I guess. At least all of the videos had big characters in them, and he's a very well-known big character. The remainder of the video, like I mentioned before, is Sire Denathrius giving an address to the people of Revendreth. He goes on about the anima drought, how they must give what they have for the good of the realm, which is really the good for him and the other nobles. This wasn't like any of the other videos, as it had no real story progression or insight, except the next part that I'll mention. All the info in the video was pretty much things you learn while leveling up in the zone, which again, I already mentioned that. But just him giving a monologue, basically going over everything that we learn while we level up in Revendreth. So, not a lot of insight, but I still really enjoyed the monologue there. The most intriguing part of the video was when again we see Garrosh being tortured for anima, and he's referred to as an old reliable or a workhorse. But he uses those words in the plural, suggesting there might be others being mined for anima. So this could be quite a big deal in that we could have many of our famous characters, especially the bad ones, such as Garrosh, who turn bad or whatever, being tortured there for their anima. So that could be interesting if we find out that there's a whole slew of them. And that's pretty much the video. So it was a monologue, like I mentioned, and then there were some interesting Garrosh parts. So first, kind of a little bit of a review, and then I'll talk a little bit more about the Garrosh thing. While this video was very different, I found it extremely enjoyable. It would be hard for me to believe that the people who made this video didn't draw their inspiration from the Fable character Reaver. He tries to dress up hardships with fancy words and to put spin on some truly awful things. There's also usually that same type of music behind him talking, and I'm a huge Fable fan. Fable's a game franchise, if you don't know. And I was delighted by the entire thing. It was well written. It was amazingly voice acted. It literally made me nostalgic for Fable. I guess they've announced that they might release a new one on the new series of Xboxes. So I might have to get a new series of Xbox just to play the Fable. And this definitely it helped inspire thinking about that in general, because that's the first thing that came to my mind as I was watching the Afterlives video. So the only other thing to really break down is the old reliables or old workhorses line. Who could these others even possibly be? Are they prominent characters that we know? Was it just a throwaway line? Is it just Garrosh that we know of that's being sucked or used as an anima battery? Either could be true, but of course it's more interesting to think of the possible characters that could be anima farms, such as Garrosh. It's likely to conclude that the most prideful or most sinful are those sent to Revendreth, therefore have the most anima. And if Garrosh is like an indicator of that, because most people would assume that he's like one of the most prideful, so maybe that's why he has all this anima. It's actually a hard mark to hit in distinguishing whether you would go to the Maw or whether you would go to Revendreth by how awful you are, because you're looking for the most prideful. So you would think that there's a certain level of pride, for example, that would send you to the Maw, like if you're just beyond redemption. So it's a hard thing to make when you try to make a list. So I tried to make my own list. It was inadequate at best. Some of the people, like, you have to make a scratch, like they weren't really that bad. And then the other people were like, well, how are they not in the Maw? But maybe those people could be in Revendreth. I'd be interested in hearing some characters that other people think could be anima batteries in Revendreth, so they meet the criteria of being in Revendreth. One that was suggested to me is Deathwing. I'm not sure if he'd be in the mall or not. It's a blurry line, but it's definitely possible that he could be one of the ones in there. We do know, without giving away everything, I guess we do know that dragon aspects can go to can or do go to the Shadowlands, so it's definitely a possibility. So that's it for this video. Again, this one was rather short because there wasn't much to break down. It was just mostly that really, really amazing monologue. If you're not into that kind of thing, or you didn't get, maybe there's other reference other than Fable even that you could draw to this. If you didn't have something like that, I could see you not liking this one as much. But this is probably maybe my second favorite one even. I might do a video ranking the 4 out of my favorite here because I definitely enjoyed all of them actually, but we'll see on that. So, as always, I ask you to please subscribe to the channel because it helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.